Hello dear students, welcome to my computer science class. Today I am going to discuss e-commerce. This is the 10th chapter of class 8 computer science book IT Planet. So students, internet is becoming popular nowadays. The popularity of the shopping online is increasing day by day, and so is electronic commerce. So what is electronic commerce? Electronic commerce, which is also called as e-business, is a financial business transaction that occurs over an electronic network, and anyone having an internet computer with an internet connection and a mean to make an online payment can participate in e-commerce. And there are basically two popular types of e-commerce. First is shopping and second is trading in stocks. And there are thousands of websites which are devoted to online shopping, from where you can buy and sell a number of products like books, clothes, and different type of services, etc. And why this e-commerce is becoming more and more popular? Because there is no blockage of time and distance, and in the traditional business setup these are the basic problems: the problem of time and distance. And because transactions are fast, so your services are quick and easy, it saves a lot of time. Initially, the e-commerce took place only through desktop computers, but now we all have our handheld devices, that is our Android phones, uh, which can access the web wirelessly. And the e-commerce that takes place using these mobile devices is called as m-commerce. So students, as I have told, e-commerce means buying and selling of goods, products and services over the internet. So basically this e-commerce or e-business has four models: business to consumer, that is B2C; consumer to consumer, that is C2C; business to business, and business to employee. So these are the four basic models of e-commerce. So first of all, let's see what is business to consumer type of e-commerce. In this type of e-commerce, the products or the services are provided by the business firm directly to the consumer or the general public, and products for sale can be any physical object like books, flowers, etc. And uh, because in this model there is no traditional retail channel, there are no intermediaries, so this enables companies to sell products at a lower cost and services quick, because the intermediate chain is not there. Business firm providing its products to wholesaler, then wholesaler providing the product to retailer, and then retailer sells it to the consumer. This is the traditional chain, but here the business firm is directly providing its product to consumer. So in this way, the profit margins which are given to these intermediaries is not there. So consumer gets the product at a lower cost, and because there is no hassle, so they get the services quick. Second type of e-commerce is consumer to consumer. In this type of e-commerce, the individuals use the internet to sell products and services directly to the other individual, like online auction. And online auction is the most popular type of C2C e-commerce. And you all know the example of this. What is the example? Yes, it is OLX. A consumer can sell its product directly to the other consumer. Now, the third type is business to business. In this type of model, the sale or exchange of products occurs between two firms. One business firm selling its product to the other business firm. Like for example, a cycle manufacturing company selling its product like the cycle parts to a manufacturing a cycle part manufacturing company selling its product to a cycle manufacturing company. Because as such, the cycle parts are not are useless for the general public. So the product, like the packaging of substances, materials for the specific goods like biscuit packaging products, they are sold directly to the business. So this type of model is called as B2B type of e-commerce. Then is the business to employee type of e-commerce. And this business to employee type of e-commerce is also known as intra-business e-commerce. And this refers to use of intranet technology to handle activities that take place within a business. This is intranet technology, not internet but intranet. Unlike the three models which we have discussed, this type of e-commerce does not generate any revenue directly. There are no profit, but the business firm is increasing the productivity of its employees. So directly they are not getting any revenue, no profit, but since the productivity of employee is increasing, so what happens? The business will increase, the business firm will later get the profit. Like for example, employees collaborate with each other, they exchange data and information, they can use the database present in the business firm and sales information, providing some sort of training online. All these are business to employee type of e-commerce. Now, the advantages of e-commerce. The different advantages of e-commerce are shopping at home. Customers can shop 24/7 because the websites are functional all the times and it does not have any working hours like a shop. So they can shop at home 24/7. At any time they can shop whenever they are free. Secondly, customers can compare the prices of items easily and the best deal. The customers, obviously, if the customer can compare the prices, so he will get the best deal out of it, and it substantially lowers the transaction cost, and it eliminates many fixed costs of maintaining brick and mortar, maintaining the maintenance of shops, their rent, and providing the maintenance cost, whatever the maintenance cost of shop is, it eliminates all these costs. So the customer get the product at a lower cost. The customer can read the reviews. This delivery is doorstep. They need not to go out for the delivery or for the collection of the product, and the feedback can be instant. The buyer has used the product and instantly he can write or she can write the feedback of that product. And for sellers, low overhead expenses, because the traditional chain has been broken, there is no intermediaries, so the overhead expenses are less. The marketing activities are less, because if the product is on the site of the online retail website, what happens? It is automatically marketed. The advertising is automatic. So low cost marketing activity, no extra charges for marketing is there, and the potential buyers can be in millions, because sometimes we even don't know about that particular product, but if it is online, everyone can have the access to that product, and we can read the reviews and purchase the product. So the buyers can be in millions. Now, disadvantages of e-commerce. So there are a number of disadvantages of e-commerce also, that like the startup cost of e-commerce portal are very high. The setup of hardware and the software, the training, cost of employees, the constant maintenance and upkeep are quite expensive. Next is e-commerce can feel impersonal. Although it may seem like a sure thing, the e-commerce industry has a high risk of failure. Many companies riding the dot-com wave of 2000s have failed. Why? Because it is highly risky, because it might gain momentum, it might become popular, or it cannot. And as I have told, e-commerce can feel impersonal, so it lacks the warmth of an interpersonal relationship, which is important for many brands and products. And this lack of personal touch can be disadvantageous for many type of services and products, like the interior designing or the jewelry business. Then next is the security. Security is another area of concern, because we have witnessed many security um, we have witnessed many security breaches where the information of customer was stolen, credit card theft, identity theft, and there are a number of fulfillment problems also. Even after the order is placed, there can be problems with shipping, delivery, mix-up of products, and this leaves the customers unhappy and dissatisfied. And some of the customers, they feel that the e-commerce is not successful. So these were the disadvantages of e-commerce. Now, shopping cart. Shopping cart is also called as shopping basket. We usually add the items when we are shopping online. We usually add items to a virtual shopping cart, and this is called as the shopping cart or shopping basket, which keeps track of all the items which we have purchased and their quantities which we want to purchase. And we have a view cart option also, from where we can view the contents of the shopping cart. And when we all add the required product to the shopping cart, there is a link of proceed to checkout, from where we have to give the information, and then the payment option is there. Now, research before you purchase online. Whether you are looking for a laptop or a video camera or any other product, you should always research for the information about that particular product on internet. You can find many reviews and feedbacks which are quite useful, and there are a number of websites which provide in-depth and unbiased reviews by professionals, and you can take the use of that, the advantages and disadvantages of a particular product before purchasing anything on the net. Now, e-retailing. What is e-retailing? Once you have researched your product, you have read the reviews, and you have found the best price for your product, then what we have to do? E-retailing. So e-retail occurs when retailers use the web to sell their products and services. So what is e-retailing? When retailers sell their products online, then it is called as e-retailing. So how all this happens: a customer visits an online business portal and at the electronic storefront. And what is electronic storefront? It is also called as the online catalog, and it is the website where an e-retailer displays all its products, the description about that, the product, the graphics, the product reviews, or the pricing, etc. After going through the product, the customer makes the selection, which activates a second area of store, which is known as the shopping cart. So when the customer selects the product, it is added to the shopping cart. So this shopping cart allows the customer to collect the items for making the purchases, and the items in the shopping cart can be added, they can be deleted or saved for future use also. When ready to complete the purchase, the customer proceeds to the checkout. At this time, the customer enters his personal information and financial information through a secure web connection. The transaction and financial data are automatically verified at a banking website. If bank approves the transaction, customer receives the confirmation of the purchase. Then the e-retailer processes the order and sends it to the fulfillment center. This is the step 5. The customer receives the confirmation of the purchase, and e-retailer processes the order and sends it to the fulfillment center, where it is packaged and shipped to the customer. Shipping information is posted on the website and emailed to the customer, so the customer can track the order. The order may take a few days after the purchase to reach the customer. In this way, the package is delivered to the customer. So these are the steps for the path of authorized e-retail transaction. First of all, e-retail, the customer views it on the electronic storefront, goes to the electronic storefront, then he adds the product to the electronic shopping cart, then enters the personal information and financial information, then bank verifies it, and then after the verification, e-retailer web server sends confirmation mail to the customer and to the fulfillment center. Then fulfillment center packages the order, then the order travels to the customer. Shipping information is posted on the website so that the customer can track the order, and then the package is delivered. Now these days the facility of cash on delivery or COD is also available, which means you can pay for the goods you have purchased after the goods are delivered to you. Now there are a number of online retailers which support payment through websites like PayPal. So an online retailer, you have opened a website of an online retailer, and when you go for the transaction, for the payment option, there will be an option for PayPal or such payment sites. You will see an option to pay through PayPal in the payment section. This is the option PayPal. Here it is written the PayPal balance. This is the PayPal balance. By clicking on that option, takes you to the PayPal website. When you click on that option, you are taken to the PayPal website, where you have to log in using your PayPal login ID. Then it shows you the purchase details from the online retailer. You can then process the payment through your PayPal account. Now a number of other payment sites are also there, like GPay, Amazon. They all have their payment options also. Once the payment is processed, PayPal returns you to the online retailer's website, and you can view your invoice and payment receipt. Now, shopping online nowadays is very secure and reliable. When you purchase goods or services online, the vendor asks you to provide accurate payment information, which means typing your credit card or debit card number, card expiry date, security code, along with your name and address detail. And that is why it is vital that this sensitive data does not fall into the wrong hands. Therefore, you need to ensure that you provide the payment information only to a secure site. And for that, we have a number of secure site indicators, like a green background in the address bar. This green background in the address bar shows that this particular site is secure. The second secure site indicator is a lock icon. Like here, there is a lock icon. If there is a lock icon, then it means the site is secure or the connection is secured. The third is VeriSign secured. It is a security seal, and if it is secured by VeriSign, then it means that the site is secure. And then this is HTTPS. This HTTPS, there are two addresses, URLs, HTTP and HTTPS. So if HTTPS is written, that means the site is secured site. Here S stands for secured. So you should always prefer HTTPS instead of HTTP. So these are the different secure site indicators. E-commerce is very secure, reliable and popular. Even then, there are some security precautions you should always follow, like never share your personal information like PIN, password, etc. with anyone, including the bank employees also. And it is important that documents that contain confidential information are safeguarded. So, PIN or password mailer should never be stored, and the PIN or password should be changed immediately and memorized before destroying the mailer. And it is advisable not to provide sensitive account related information over unsecured emails. And you can take simple precautions also, like changing the ATM PIN and online login transaction passwords on regular basis. Also, always ensure that the logged in session is properly signed out, especially for the transaction websites. These are the different security precautions which you should always follow, because nowadays we are using internet more. We are more dependent on internet. All our details are on the internet. So you should follow all the security concerns and security precautions regarding the use of internet and e-commerce. So we have read that web is a convenient way to purchase goods and services, and you can also use the web to sell products over the internet. You can sell your products using online auction. If you are not sure the price to charge, or if you think you have a popular product, you can use online auction. In most of the cases, the website, they charge a fees for listing the item, and an additional fees when you sell the item. And most popular online auction site is your eBay. And another way to sell your good is to sign up with an existing online retailer. You can sign up with an existing online retailer like Amazon, Snapdeal, Flipkart, etc. And you can list your products along with the other retailers, and whenever a person or a customer wants these specific products, you can send it through these online retailers. So this was all about the chapter. Wanted to share some information, like Michael Ehrlich was the person who invented online shopping in 1979 by connecting a domestic television with a phone line. Then Pizza Hut was the first major brand to experiment with online commerce, and Pizza Hut was started in 1994. So these were some pieces of information. Chapter is over. I hope you all have understood the chapter properly. So revise the chapter well, read the chapter. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, students.